USAID was supposed to
provide humanitarian aid. But the truth is far more sinister. Leaked documents and whistleblower reports reveal that USAID has been funding groups that incite racial conflict, political upheaval, and cultural destruction. The playbook is clear: infiltrate nations under the guise of aid, manipulate social movements, and create division from within. Race wars as a political weapon in the United States. USAID influence can be felt in the growing racial hostility. The agency has funneled money into organizations that promote racial division rather than unity. We've seen radical activist groups backed by USAID grants push narratives that fuel resentment, rewrite history, and encourage civil unrest. The 2020 riots, many of the organizations behind them had direct or indirect financial ties to USAID-funded initiatives abroad, now repurposed for domestic destabilization. LGBT ideology as a tool of control. But race isn't the only weapon. USAID has been aggressively exporting radical gender ideology worldwide. Nations that resist, they're blacklisted, sanctioned, or pressured into compliance. In Africa, leaders have openly rejected USAID
The Prime Minister
interference, calling it a neo-colonial tool to erode cultural values. The same tactics are being used at home. Children exposed to gender confusion in schools, businesses forced to comply with ideological mandates, and dissenting voices silenced. This isn't about progress. It's about breaking down societal foundations to make populations easier to control. USAID role in U.S. destabilization. It's not just foreign countries being targeted. USAID fingerprints are all over the social collapse happening within America. The border crisis. USAID has been caught funding NGOs that assist illegal migrants, undermining national sovereignty. Crime surges in major cities. USAID-backed activist groups advocate for policies that weaken law enforcement and embolden criminals. The agency is executing abroad what we now see unfolding right here at home. The end game: control through chaos. Why would a government agency tasked with aid be fueling division? Because a fractured society is easier to manipulate when people are distracted by racial conflict, identity politics, and ideological warfare. They don't see the real enemy. They don't push back against growing government control, against mass surveillance, against the erosion of freedoms. USAID isn't helping, its engineering collapse. But the mask is slipping. The exposure of USAID true agenda has sparked outrage worldwide. Nations are rejecting its influence, calling it what it is. It's a tool for global control. The question is, will Americans wake up before it's too late? Or will we let a so-called aid agency tear our country apart from within? The pieces are falling into place. The division, the chaos, the engineered collapse, it's all part of the plan. But they didn't count on people waking up. Now, it's up to us to expose the truth and fight back. Stay aware, stay strong, and remember, we got.
Some of the instruction manuals here, 1 and 2, in order to destabilize nations. In addition to that, they advocated for setting up job fairs near some of these riots so that disaffected workers could gain employment. Now, as a member of Congress, I ask myself, did anyone in USAID get elected to Congress? How about to a presidency? When you are acting in the shadows and you are destabilizing nations using race wars to do it and then advocating that the military does it, in my opinion, not only do you put the future generations that would have to fight in those wars in jeopardy, but at the end of the day, you're operating without any oversight.